How's everybody doing today? Today, we are on the heels of the Pathways to PennDOT event that we did out in District 11. That gave me some new insight to some holes that people have in their understanding about the program. And what I would really like to do today is really force an open dialogue with everybody on this call. Unless everybody feels as though they know everything about the MPP program, which I don't think you do. That's why I think you're here today. Before, I've been giving you kind of these loose call agendas, and I've been noticing that the questions have been dwindling, I think, as people are getting more and more comfortable with the program, which is a good thing. But what I want to do is kind of test your knowledge, your understanding, your skill set with regards to the MPP and navigating the MPP, and really start some conversations and maybe create some questions that you might not have known that you had during this call. So do we have any questions about the program thus far from the folks that aren't signed up yet? Do you know how to get signed up? You can answer in the chat. Do you know how to get signed up? That's normally what we start with, this streamlined sign up process for the Mentor-Protege program. That's normally what we start with. If you're already in ProRank Academy from your home profile, if you are, I think it's only relevant to Proteges right now. So you can click on this potential MPP Proteges banner if you're already in ProRank Academy. If you're not already in ProRank Academy, you can go to mppsurvey.com directly. All right. And the act of you completing this survey is going to create your ProRank Academy user. And if you're already in ProRank Academy, please use the same email address that you're already using for ProRank Academy so that you don't create an additional user in ProRank Academy. All right. So ProRank Academy goes off of email addresses. All right. So if you're filling out or you're instructing somebody to complete either the Protege questionnaire, right, which is here when you come to mppsurvey.com, or the mentor questionnaire, which would be click here. If you click on this little click here, then that will redirect you to the Prime Mentor. One of the important things that you want to do and you want to remind other folks to do is just try to use their same email address that they're already using for ProRank Academy, or that they're already using for their work profile, their individual work email address, right? Because one of the things that we tell folks is that Proteges, if I'm going to go back, Proteges should only be doing one questionnaire per firm. All right, one questionnaire per firm. And then that person will be the point of contact pretty much for your firm. And even if it's not the owner, it's no big deal, because we'll show you on this call, if you'd like us to, how you can share access with the owner for your profile and for this information. You can actually share access to your profile with the owner or with the higher up, your supervisor, so that they could actually toggle to your profile and they could see the mentor protege rooms as if they were you. All right. But we ask that proteges only have one profile that they actually go through this questionnaire with. Now, mentors are a little bit different. All right, because mentors are only going to be in the tier 3 room. They're really not going to be moving out of that room. So mentors, and they might need to have multiple mentors for different projects, right? For different things that they're mentoring in, or really just different people managing the process for that company. So for that reason, mentors could actually have multiple users from their organization complete this survey. And all of those individuals will have their own profile access to the Mentor-Protege program. All right. That's a pretty key distinction. Does that generate any questions? Do we have any questions in the chat, or was that?
We have one question in the chat. Is there a way to search for potential proteges by region, PennDOT district, engineering discipline?
By region, PennDOT district, engineering discipline. So yes. I would say region is going to be somewhat tough. Engineering discipline, they're starting to come in now. So let me show you a couple different ways though. All right. So the first thing that we can do is we can actually go to the overall community here. All right. Go to the community, which is under activity feed, on ProRank Academy. And again, if you're not in the program yet, once you do that survey, either the mentor or the protege program, or you're not in ProRank Academy yet, once you do your survey, either the mentor or the protege, then you'll be in ProRank Academy. If your company is already a protege and you want access to ProRank Academy, but you don't want to do MPPsurvey.com, then you can just go to ProRankAcademy.com, and there's going to be a free, on the top left-hand side, there'll be like a free public membership option. All right. And that's just at ProRankAcademy.com. And maybe Rudy or Ken can drop the link to that in the chat if you need that. But what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure I reset my filter, because you don't want to see a community with no people in it, right? That's the first lesson that you're going to get on the community. This filter will remember whatever you set forever and ever. So when you're done, hit reset, or when you come back, hit reset, because your community will only show the last thing that was filtered until you hit the reset. But once we hit reset, we see we have all 930 folks here in the community. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to, I think we have an MPP questionnaire completion. Yes, right? So that's going to show me the people that did the MPP questionnaire. And on the side here, what I'm showing you, these different filters are like constraining filters that will filter out the folks by the different constraints that you add here. So, we have like 50 firms here or so, but these might not all be tier 3, and some of these folks might think these should all be proteges, if I'm not mistaken. These all look like proteges, all right, that we filtered out here. And then if you wanted to go add, maybe if you're looking for consultants, now you could do this in the tier room too. I'm going to show you another way to do this. But if we wanted to say maybe just the consultants out of there, then we could go add this consultant, kind of constraint here. Now we're down to 28, right? And if we wanted to go to, this is actually kind of working through the tiers for you. Tier 3 would be firms that are business partner registered and have active qualifications packages. That's another way of saying, show me the tier 3 consultants, right? But we could do it here too. So we could say business partner registered, and we could say active annual consultant qualification package. So that's another way of saying tier 3. I want you to understand that, and I'll show you that in the tier rooms, right? But again, this is going to be filtering this group of 28. Now we're down to 26, okay? And then regions, we're working on this now. I want to so tell you that you can just click on this region and it's going to work, but we need everybody to be proactive about updating their profiles and telling us their zip codes. And until they do that, then we're trying to reverse engineer and get everybody in the right regions. But in the hopes of this doesn't make a fool out of me, I'm going to give it a shot. What region did you want to see? The person that asked that question, just so we can try to cater this to you. It might not work at all. I'm going to give you a fair warning, but it's under development and it's coming in the very near future if it doesn't work. But I'm going to go down swinging for you. So we want
Kyron, I was looking for Eastern Pennsylvania, maybe Southeastern or Northeastern Pennsylvania.
Okay. All right. So Southwestern PA. And of course, we're not going to have, Northeastern PA or Southeastern PA. Let's hope that this doesn't make a fool out of us. Let's see if this is working right now. And I'm telling you, if this is not working, give us 7 to 14 days and this will be working, because we're really just trying to connect features right now in the system. And we have 4 here, but I'm almost positive that of those 28, more of those firms are applicable to that area. All right. So again, hopefully this kind of answers your question and this helps you out. But let me show you something else that doesn't necessarily give you region, but a lot of folks don't know how to do this. And then we'll move to the next question, because I think there's some more questions. MPP room reports. So you're going to see about 4 groups here for your profile. You'll see the big room, which is MPP Mentor-Protege Program rooms. This has everybody in it. But if you knew you only wanted to see like tier 3 consultants, right? That's the ready to work consultants or the ready to work contractors, then you can go straight to that room. I'm just going to go to tier 3 consultant room and say that that's what we're kind of looking for. And then what this will do is everybody's in the tier, right? Everybody that is a consultant in here is in tier 3. I'm sorry, all of the proteges All of the folks that have NA are like mentors, right? Or program admin. It's not applicable to them. We can sort these rooms by any of these column headers so that they're all just in some kind of order, So you can sort by any of the column headers, and then you can export these reports, all right? And going from left to right, you have the first name, the last name, the company name, you have their cohort. We went to tier 3 consultant room. So we know that everybody is in the consultant cohort because this is the consultant cohort room, right? We know that all of the proteges are in tier 3 because it's the tier 3 room. This is how we would determine who's underutilized or not, which is a big one, right? Who's underutilized? We just clicked on this underutilized, and it's showing us everybody that's yes now is actually underutilized firms. Those are the firms who can work on multiple MPP projects simultaneously, right? And then your tier 3 that are not underutilized are the ones that can only work on one at a time. And then you could still go view their profile, which is another way to do what was asked initially. How do we see what these folks are doing, right? Or what their skill set is? Maybe from this list, you can go here and then view, the individual profile and the things that they do and their contact information. And then that list that we showed you, the reports, again, this is an exportable report. You can export. So you want to come here and check this regularly because this will change as the room updates. And hopefully that suffices, that answers your question pretty well.
Yeah, that goes a long way in getting me in the right direction.
Awesome.
I wasn't navigating to these pages, so this is
Awesome.
this is pretty helpful to me.
Awesome. Love it.
I guess the follow-up question that I would have is among proteges who are not underutilized, how can you tell who is currently has an assignment and is not open to another assignment?
$1 million question. So that is the reason that's the reason that we created the tiers, right? And the whole purpose of tier 3 is if you see them in tier 3, then they can work. All right, then they can work. They don't have an assignment. Once they have an assignment, they're moved out of tier 3 and into tier 4 unless they're underutilized. They're underutilized, they're left in the tier 3 room. And that's why potential mentors only have access to the tier 3 room, right? We're not going to show you tier 1 and tier 2 because they're not ready to work yet. We're not going to show you tier 4 because they're already designated to other projects and they can't work, right? So that's why we're only giving you tier 3 as a mentor, if that makes sense, to try to make your life a little bit easier.
Okay, that is super helpful.
Okay. And if you see somebody in tier 3 that shouldn't be there, let us know. The stickiest it'll get in tier 3, though, is people that have commitments to other companies, but they haven't been awarded yet, right? So one of the best practices that we recommend is that if you don't use an underutilized company, then think about having an underutilized company as an alternate, just in case, right? Because if your primary person gets selected that's not underutilized, then you can switch in that alternate. The district will let you switch out. They won't give you a hard time. And you'll know that that's not going to happen again to that alternate because they can work multiple projects simultaneously. So that's a best practice that we give you. And again, the district won't give you a hard time. They'll even probably give you kudos for being proactive with that best practice.
Helpful.
Great. Do we have any other questions? We're here for you today.
We do have another question, Kai.
Okay.
This one is for Williamsbridge.
Mhm.
Any new updates on CUF?
Yes.
Can CUF new rules be used only on MPP projects?
Yes. So the place to go get that information now, and this will be another good one if you're not using this page, the MPP resource page, where all of your resources are. I'm going to show you something fancy we have on the top of this page, but this one page, we're going to show you how to get there again. Under resources, MPP resources, just click on this main page. This one page is your go-to for all of this kind of information. All of these weekly calls are posted here. If you click on this link up here, then it's going to show you the last 4. This call will be up there once it's edited, right? You can access that. And then we have timestamps to the different things that we're talking about in these calls. But let me get down here to Juan's question, which was an excellent one. The workaround, this is not a direct answer, Juan, but it's a pretty good one, I would say, is the answer to that is we have new templates. We have a new consultant and contractor work plan template, And we have a new consultant and contractor MOU template as of 1/11/23. So you want to go here, download these templates, and the work plan template is speaking to what they want to see now for the CUF stuff. You know what I mean? And really what it comes down to, Juan, is it doesn't call it out by CUF, but it's saying that the mentor, you have to have a defined work plan and a list of like deficiencies or things that you need identified up front with that work plan now. And you can go here and get this template and you'll see how it's kind of asking you that and laying that out. And then you can ask us or ask PennDOT. I'm going to show you how to ask questions directly to PennDOT really quick here. You can ask us by contacting us, or you can also go to group rooms. You can go back to the main PennDOT MPP room. And I'm just going to type in so I can filter out quickly. I could either type in PennDOT here, right, and do a search that way, or I could go down here and just do MPP, like I could just filter out by Mentor-Protege rooms. But this is the room I need, right, the PennDOT Mentor-Protege rooms. So if you have follow-up questions, Juan, or anybody that has in-depth CUF questions for PennDOT, come to this main PennDOT Mentor-Protege room, click on discussions. This is also where the question might already be answered as well. If you have questions, and then come right here to this top discussion, MPP program open Q&A. Please ask your PennDOT specific MPP questions here. And I'm going to dive back into your answer again some more, Juan, after I show this, but this is critical. This is where if you just click on this reply button, right, you can create a brand new thread if nothing that you're talking about or asking about has already been discussed here. If you already saw that Juan asked or Crystal or somebody asked the CUF question down here, then you can just hover this actual reply button in thread, and you can ask a question that will be directly nested into this thread of this conversation. And it'll kind of keep it as a nested conversation. If what you're asking is brand new and unique, you know, to the topic or conversation, then just start a new reply, right? And if you subscribe, then you'll get notified whenever this is updated. You'll get an email, all right? So this is how you can ask your CUF questions directly to PennDOT. But again, Juan, the moral of the story is things that normally aren't allowable for commercially useful function. If you know that you need help with that as a protege and you're coming in, then you want to list that as a deficiency, as a known deficiency, as something that you need help with. And you want to make that part of your work plan, and you want to speak to that in the work plan template. And again, you can ask PennDOT, and you can ask us if you have more specific questions. And hopefully, if you got a chance to, we're going to navigate you back to the MPP resources page and take you back to these brand new work plan template and then the MOU template, MOU agreement template. And it's as of 1/11/23. And come back here regularly, because the next thing that's going to be changing any day is the MPP program guide, Juan, which will give you even more explicit direction on the CUF guidance and how these updates in the work plans and MOUs play out. So I hope that answers your question.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Ken. It did.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. There's a great dialogue that we're having today. These are great questions. Keep them coming. Does anybody else have any other questions about anything?
There's two questions in the chat. Did you get to the one from Nadia Johnson?
Nope.
The company I work for is signed up as a potential protege with our profile tied to my boss's ProRank account. She'd like for some of us to help develop our profile and network with possible mentors. You mentioned that there's a way for employees to share access to their profile with the firm's owner, but is there also a way for the owners to share editing access with their employees?
Absolutely. It's the exact same thing. And what I'm going to do is show you really quick where you do that. You're going to come to home, and it's going to be right here, Multi-Account. Under your main profile, Multi-Account. Super easy, super simple to do. Click on that Multi-Account feature, and what you're going to do is you're going to add Multi-Account. So this is Multi-Account request that you land on. But if it's an existing user, you're just going to put their username here, right? And you can get anybody's username from their profile. So if I wanted to say, let's do this, let's say, so Kenneth, this is his username right here. That's going to be their username. And then if I go back home to my profile, I'm on his profile, go back to my profile. I'm going to go back to multi-account. I'm going to go back to add multi-account. I'm going to actually share my access with Ken. I'm going to share my, if they already exist, that's what you do. All right. If they don't exist in ProRank Academy yet, and you want to create new users, then you can create new users just by creating a username here, putting their email here, their first name, their last name, and then selecting their user type. All right. Probably a diverse business employee or non-diverse business employee. All right. Whatever their user is, then you can actually create the user and give them access all at the same time if they're not already in ProRank Academy. So this is for existing users, existing username, or this username, email. This is only if they're not existing. It doesn't say that, and that's not clear. So I want to make sure you understand that. That or is for new users, and above or is for existing users. And all you need for an existing user to do this is their username. For a brand new user not on ProRank Academy, you need to give them a username, give them an email, give them a first name, a last name, and select a user type. And once you consent and hit submit, then Ken should get an email notice that he has been granted access to my profile. Request has been sent. And then once he accepts that, and I don't know, Ken, if you could see that, if you could go in there, and you might even be able to just do it from your multi-account too. You see, I have a pending approval for Kenneth here. Once he accepts it, it's going to go to the accepted, and I'll be able to just switch accounts just by clicking on this switch. And I'll be able to delete the request or delete the connection at any time by clicking delete. All right. So the thing to keep in mind, though, all right, to know, the thing I want to warn you about this is that if you have multiple people connected to one profile like that, your owner, then people could jump in and out of other people's profiles like that. You can kind of profile hop, right? Because they could switch to your owner's profile, and then from your owner's profile, since your owner's profile is sharing with another employee, they could switch to that employee. They could kind of daisy chain from profile to profile. So as long as there's no personal information and it's all, business information, how ProRank Academy is designed, it's no issue. But if your owner is using that to manage any personal information, or they're having any personal discussions here in their message, right? Because once somebody logs in as another user, then they can come here and access messages and see their message history and everything. So, be warned, all right? But hopefully that answers your question. And also we have tutorials on this. If you just type in multi-account, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to go into site-wide search and I'm going to put in multi. Hopefully that's all I have to do is put in multi. Let me see if multi does it.
I did post it in the chat already, but you can show them how to find it too.
Gotcha. Okay, great, Ken. You posted it in the chat. Discussions. See, discussions, PRA multifunction account, right? If you click on that, that's going to be a video that is showing you like a silent walkthrough of how to do what we just did. Ken, did you accept that connection request by any chance?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go back and let's show them what it looks like, and let's just switch out real quick. And then you can queue up the next question if we have another question.
Yes, we do. I have a Tom Holloway's question ready to go.
Okay. So, okay, multi-account. And now it's going to put us right on the tab that we need to be on now. I'm going to click on switch account since it's approved. It went from pending to approved. And now reviewing ProRank Academy is Kenneth. All right.
Hi, this is Tom. You answered my question in the chat. I see where the form is to fill out for the Protege program. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And hopefully this answers the other question about how to connect your account. And you saw on my profile before, if I go back to multi-account, now I'm actually in as Ken though. So you see, I'm him. It's not like it's, any kind of camouflage, or it's just, I really am him. And now I'm seeing the other sub accounts that he has. So if this was another employee that was connected to him, right, I could switch to their account now. And that's what I was telling you. You have to be mindful of. So employees, if you do that, it could be a best practice that you use to work together on ProRank Academy, maybe, right? But just as long as you understand what you're doing and you're doing it consciously, and you're not exposing anything. But that's a great question. That's the multi-account feature, and that's how it works. All right. What I'm going to do is let me switch back to myself here. If there's any more questions, Rudy or Ken, let me know. We answered the one that was pending. So I'm going to go back and
there's one from Eric Roble.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and shoot.
Can we make a company account and then use the multi-account function to add users? Does this require an administrator?
You can't make it, because ProRank Academy is an individual user experience, right? So it's not like you make a company account for ProRank Academy and you add users, right? But your company, in effect, does that, because your company does have a company account that's under your owner, all right? And you're actually associated with your owner. So let me just show you what I mean when I say that, all right? So if you look at my profile, it says down here, is profile sub-account? No. A lot of you, when you look down here, including you, Eric, it might say yes, because you're actually a sub-account of the one main account that's giving you this enhanced diverse business access that you're enjoying, right? And what that does is, and the way that you access that is, if I go down here, if I go here to account, right, and I go to subscriptions, anybody that's a diverse business or affiliated with a diverse business is going to see this enhanced diverse business access, right? And that's like a value of $1,250 a year that the Department of Transportation is picking up the tab on. And everybody in your diverse business has access to this every year. And the cost of this was actually $1,650 now, but the cost of this for you is doing the annual needs assessment. Once every 9 months, we ask, but at least every 12 months. When anybody from Azalea Group, Eric, does that needs assessment, it resets access for everybody in the company, right? And what Kristen can do from this page, and what you can do if you switch to Kristen, the way I just showed you, if you have like a shared access with her, then you could come to this enhanced diverse business membership that you see from her menu option up here. If you go to account, you go back to subscriptions, and you're not going to see all of this other distraction. You'll see public, and then you'll see this. You slide all the way over, and then you'll see sub accounts. All right. And those sub accounts, I haven't used any here. Let me show you. Let me go back here. I'm going to show you this for PR staff access, because this is more applicable to my company, right? But for you all will be enhanced diverse business access. These sub accounts are how you associate the different users with your company, Eric. This is how you can share your company banner, your company information. They don't have to worry about any of that. And you can create a sub account in seconds by clicking the add sub account, and it works the exact same way. If they're already in ProRank Academy, you can attach them as a sub account by getting their username the same way I just showed you for the multi-account. If they're not in ProRank Academy, then you would create a brand new user that's a sub account all in one motion, the same way that I just showed you, right? For the multi-account, you would select a username, put in their email address, their first name, their last name, and then, yes, you want to send them the welcome email. And then, yes, you want to click here to share your profile banner and your sub account profile banner, and this will share your non-personal profile data. So they'll be all set up when they come in, right? And this is really what I think you're asking me in disguise, Eric, is how do I use this sub account feature to maybe give more access, more members of Azalea Group access to their own access to ProRank Academy. And then you can always multi-account connect them to Kristen, right? You can all be multi-account connected to one account, which would be Kristen's account, or to your account if you want to do your account. You can pick one account, Eric, that is like the company account, right? And then that's the default account that everybody connects to. It's still going to have a primary user, but you could use it like it's the default company account. That might be Kristen's account. Does that make sense, Eric? Does that answer your question? Or did I just completely confuse it?
No, absolutely. Whether it's Kristen, myself, or like we have somebody that we want to put in charge of this, they're named Blair. If Blair is going to be in charge, then we want everybody to do the multi-account, and we'll call it become sub-accounts to her accounts, but we still all have access.
So, okay. Now I'm glad you asked me that question. Let me clear that up. Multi-accounts and sub-accounts are different. No matter what, everybody in your organization will be a sub-account to Kristen, all right, to her profile. All right. Now, that does not have to be the multi-account that everybody's under, right? But that will be when I go back to my profile and I say, is this a sub-account? Yes or no? Everybody in the Azalea Group's profile really should say yes, except for Kristen's. Does that make sense? Which you can make anybody the administrator of a multi-account, but there's only going to be one parent account, which is Kristen. You follow me?
I got that. I guess the only other, Kristen will be the quote unquote parent account. Well, the parent account, and then we can have an additional account that is our administrator, and we have the multi-accounts added under the administrator, but Kristen is still the parent.
Right. You got it. And so if you want to add new users, you're doing it from your parent. If you want to give people access to the MPP, you're doing it through your multi-account administrator.
Will other than the parent account, when we need to update our profile, which we actually need to start doing, does that have to be done from the parent account, or can that be done from?
So you don't have one profile. Everybody has their own profile, and the parent account is just sharing the relevant information from their profile with you, so you don't have to do it. But anybody at any time can edit their profile by clicking this edit button and going in here and changing the information here. Now, the one thing of it is that say you have something that's for all Azalea Group members that's written down here in the description. Well, then, unless you detach them as a sub-account and then reattach them, then they would have to go into their profile and update their profile too, But anybody can do this at any time. And your ProRank Academy profile, don't confuse that necessarily with like your MPP questionnaire, right?
That was my other question. The MPP survey, MPP questionnaire. That's what we need to update. Can anybody on a multi-user account, or does that have to be done from the parent?
Yeah, we don't have a way to really update that yet, Eric. Quite honestly, that's almost like a one and done thing because it's creating a PDF on a whole nother website. So that would be something that we would have to maybe do on a case-by-case basis, right? But they're really not designed to be changed or updated. What we would like to do is, I think we give you the option to update them like as soon as you do it. It's like, view it and change everything there. But once it's good, we would hope that would be the information until you get placed on a project. And then at that point in time, when you successfully complete the project, you have graduated the program. Then we're going to ask you to do a whole nother survey altogether. That would get emailed to, whoever's doing that MPP survey. So they would get a copy of that now when they complete it. So whatever email address you put on there, a copy of that survey will go there. That's what these dialogues are about. You all telling us where the holes are, what's working for you, what's not working for you, and us working together to make this program what it needs to be for everybody. So it's exactly why we're having these calls. Keep them coming.
Chiron, if they just want to add services to their profile, they can just edit their profile, right?
Yeah, but Eric is actually talking about specifically his MPP questionnaire.
Okay.
Right? And that's not as easy to edit because that's a PDF, right? But that's what we were showing you. Anybody that wants to just edit their company profile, right? Either in a whole or for like individuals, they can just click on the edit profile button because all of the options that you see here can be updated right in these edit profile questions. And we're grabbing up like a lot of this stuff off of your annual needs assessment and your MPP survey. your MPP questionnaire. So giving us that information, we're going to make it more and more actionable and make supportive services smarter and smarter for you. Something that I was trying to show you that I don't think I got to yet. Do we have any other questions before I go back here?
No, I don't see any.
This is good, though. This is a great dialogue. This is exactly what I was hoping would happen on this call today. I want to show you something new that we did to help you all try to create, if you're a protege, to maybe create mentors, right, for yourself, to bring some in to help you out. If you're a mentor, to maybe try to create proteges, right, to bring some more proteges in. You don't have to limit yourself to the people in the program, right? Any PAUCP DBE, that wants to do work with PennDOT can become a potential protege in minutes. Now, they might not be a tier 3 protege, right? If they're not business partner registered and qualified or pre-qualified, but we'll help them work on that. But if they are, then, they might just need 10, 15 minutes to be ready to work with you, So if that's the case, what you would want to do is you could copy this link, refer a protege to the PennDOT Mentor-Protege Program, and copy that link, put that in your email and say, hey, this is a great opportunity. Click here to get started. And what that's going to do is take them straight to the questionnaire, right? And once they complete that questionnaire, they'll automatically have their user created in ProRank Academy. They'll automatically be put into the correct cohort, the correct tier based on their answers. And what we say is, again, this is telling you just the act of completing will automatically create the MPP profile, send them their email with instruction for next steps. We say, please ask, though, any pre-existing ProRank Academy users, because they might be in ProRank Academy, they just might not be in the Mentor-Protege program, right? Ask them that if they do this, to please use their existing email address, right? And if they're not in ProRank Academy, ask them to use their individual company email address. Don't use like an info or a general one, because ProRank Academy works at the individual user level, even at your company. Is we want to know the individual users of your company, and you can have multiple users, but that's how ProRank Academy is set up to work. Now there's like one group company profile. So if you can make sure that folks, if they're already in there, are using their pre-existing emails. If not, it's going to create an extra user for them, a brand new user, and it's going to confuse them. All right. And if they're not already in ProRank Academy, have them use their professional email, their individual email for their company to create their individual user, and then everybody in the company, if they all do that, then they'll all be properly in there correctly with the correct contact information. So the flip side of that is referring a potential mentor if you're a protege. Right. And we showed you some great tactics last week on how you can go to ECMS, how you can go directly to the bids by let date next 52 weeks if you're in construction, and you can pull up the list of plan holders. You can go look at those projects by district, right? Look at the list of plan holders for jobs in a specific district, and you can get the name of the estimator or the PM. You can get their fax, their email, their phone number, everything. And then you can send them this message. You could send them this link, refer a potential mentor. And then what else we said you could do is you can go to the jobs and projects, and you can filter out the MPP notices for that given district. And a lot of this stuff is not on ECMS yet. So they will be like, if you show them a project on ECMS that's not on ECMS yet, first of all, they'll probably think you're crazy until you send them, that other link, or maybe also the Mentor-Protege public program information link. You send them some more information on the program. But once you do that, right, you send them something from Crawford County, or, you have these small counties, Pike County or something like that. They're going to be like, who are you? And how do you know how to find this information? You're going to set yourself apart automatically. And that's called an icebreaker. We tell people to do that on ECMS, to hunt, not gather. For consultants, you could do a search for specific skill sets, specific qualification packages of firms by skill set. And then what you would do is you would take that BPID number, you would do a business partner search for that BPID number on the business partner search side, and it's going to give you all of the email address for that company. And you would do the exact same thing. You would come here, you would make friends with them. You would come back to your resource page. You would copy these links here. And I don't think I even showed you what I wanted to show you from the projects page, which is that you can go to any of these projects and you can copy this link, right? So first they would have to complete that MPP questionnaire link. Once they do that, they'll automatically have access to this system, the ProRank Academy. So you said step 1, complete the survey here. Step 2, log in and check out the project announcement here, right? And then you give them this link, Step 3, view our profile here, right? And then you would, maybe give them a link to your profile, which you would copy this link, right? Or our capability statement, Step 3, see our capability statement here. You can copy this link address, right? And capability statements are attached to your profiles. And this would take them, straight to this information on your company, right? So you are not limited to the proteges or the mentors that you see in the program today. If that mentor completes that questionnaire, then they're going to be a mentor. The only thing that we ask for mentors is that you are ECMS business partner registered, that you're qualified or pre-qualified as a prime contractor or consultant, or can at least bid as a prime contractor or consultant. That's what we ask, and that you're in good standing with PennDOT. And for potential proteges, all that we ask is that you are currently active on PAUCP. You have a PAUCP certification as a DBE, right? You have to be DBE certified, not diverse business, but Pennsylvania Unified Certification Program certified. So, and then wanting to do business with PennDOT. So, you can use these links now. They have the message in there. If you just copy them and paste them right into your email, then they should keep the link for you. And again, the potential mentor link will take you straight to the Prime Mentor Survey without having to click the little link on top, right? And you see that this is the unique address to go straight to the Prime Mentor Survey. Because if we just go to mppsurvey.com, it's going to take us to the Protege version. So that's it. That's what we have. We're right at 11:55. Do we have any other questions before we close out for the day? I feel like we got some things done because I know we answered some folks' questions that I didn't even have to speak to. But I felt like this was good because you all really interacted and asked great questions. So we definitely appreciate everybody participating. But we will be back next Tuesday with an ECMS call. So, and thanks again for joining us.
I have no more questions, Karen. I just wanted to thank you. You gave me a bunch of the information I need. Hopefully we'll set up a quick meeting. And I'm glad you got to meet Kristen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a good event yesterday. These Pathways to PennDOT events, if you go to our blog, click on PRA blog, we have it posted as the last blog event. But if you actually go into Google or you click on some of the links on the blog, it should take you to, I think, the larger page. Put the source page here too. I don't know if I have that. They're going to be doing these Pathways to PennDOT workshops in every single district in the Commonwealth. So these are a great opportunity to get an inside track with district personnel, especially if you're an engineer or consultant, and you're going to have the district exec there. You're going to have a whole bunch of the district team there that you can cozy up to, exchange business cards, and then use them to name drop when you're trying to get on teams in those districts. So I would definitely suggest, if none of the workshop topics interest you, then to come there to exchange some business cards and to shake some hands. It's a good opportunity. We also have a podcast, so you can check that out, a new PRA podcast that will, try to keep you in the loop. And the bonus episodes will be content that's not really date or time specific, just specific to new ProRank Academy users, new MPP or DBE participants. And if it's not a bonus episode, then it's probably some date specific content, something that's happening and expiring soon. So check it out.